Yes, my people, them CFC, Realist Blue, back with another video, and it's match preview settings, man, for the Chelsea and Arsenal game tomorrow in the Premier League. Kickoff is at 4:30, but join man's watch along from 3:30. We can discuss the team news, and as you can see, back again, man like Nathaniel. Welcome back, my bro.
Thank you for having me again.
Of course, man. It's a standard thing nowadays. You feel me? This is an Arsenal, Chelsea. This is what happens on the CFC Realist Blue channel up here. And boy, Arsenal, Chelsea. Things have changed these last couple of years, man. We haven't been on your level, but right now, not only are we kind of on your level, but we are ahead of you in the Premier League table, man. It's going to be an interesting weekend. And let us know in the comments, do you think Chelsea are going to end Arsenal's title charge this game tomorrow? Let us know. But obviously we're going to go through some team news / injury news, head-to-head stats, match facts, predicted XI, score predictions. So you guys, let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. And yeah, man, let's get into it. Starting off with Chelsea's injury news. And surprisingly, we don't even have any injury news. Other than Jadon Sancho could be a doubt. He might be or not for this game. So he could be out for this match. But if we're going to be honest, everything else in the team is pretty much fine.
How's Palmer looking? If I remember, I was hearing something about.
Yeah, no, Palmer. I'll be real. He was training yesterday. I think he'll be available. I doubt he's going to be able. I doubt he's going to miss this match, even though that was a nasty challenge by Sandro Martinez last week. And I didn't get a red card. I don't know, but that's Premier League referees for you, isn't it? But Palmer is a doubt. I forgot to mention that. I don't think he's going to miss the game. If he does, then we can just call on Nkunku, innit? But nonetheless, that's just obviously our injury news. What about yours?
For us, Tomiyasu's obviously he hasn't played basically all season, so he's still out. Calafiori's out at the moment, and the big one, the newest one, is Declan Rice, where he has a broken toe. He hasn't trained. He missed the Inter game, so it's a doubt at the moment. But I guess if he trains today, we'll see. Obviously, it's a big game. It's an important game for us, so I think he'll probably battle for it. But yeah, he's the biggest worry. Other than that, the team's in a good spot. We've got guys back again, so
yeah. You man literally just welcome back Odegaard after being. He hasn't been playing since the international break, and yeah, man, that's good for you, lot. And obviously, Declan Rice, I've seen numerous amount of reports, obviously saying that he's going to be fighting through the pain and all of this kind of stuff to play in this game, which is a big game for you, lot, considering obviously your recent form.
Yeah,
and but that's just a warrior. Guys like that, or guys like that just will play through so much pain. There's so many professional athletes in this world that will play through serious injuries and just mitigate it. Even last season, Enzo Fernandez, he apparently had a hernia for like 8 months and was playing through so much pain. And it's just about how much you wanting to fight for your team. Arsenal, you man have been doing well for these last couple of years, but you know that your main goal is to win the Premier League title, and that's why for Declan Rice not to miss this game isn't really an option for him, because you know that you're much stronger with him than without him. Especially come to Stamford Bridge, where even though we ain't been doing that well, Reece, in the last couple of years, it's not a game. It's not a ground where you come to and you feel like, oh yeah, we're definitely gonna get the win, because it's been tough. Last season we drew 2-2, and even before that, I think you lot have only beaten us like 1-0 before that at Stamford Bridge. Hasn't really been like a massive scoreline.
We've had a 1-0, 4-2.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what was the other one.
It was literally 2-2.
Yeah, it was 2-2, and the last one was 2-2, yeah.
So like at Stamford Bridge, you lot, when you lot are at home, you like last season, obviously you beat us 5-0. Before that was 3-1. It's like there's more comprehensive wins for you guys at home rather than at the Bridge. And that's just why at home, man's always gonna feel confident playing against Arsenal, because we have to. If we can't even beat these men at home, what is the saying for us? What is it saying for us? Not a lot. But that's why even last season, man was confident. And we got a draw. And now I'm predicting a dub. That's what man's hoping for.
Yep.
But obviously, that's just some team news / injury news. Enzo Maresco versus Mikel Arteta, the first time. 2 Pep prodigies We're two Pep guys.
Yeah.
We've never had this before. What do you think? How do you think Chelsea have been playing recently since Esma Maresca has come in? Have you seen a change in any of the games that you've seen compared to how we were playing under Pochettino last season?
No, 100%. You look way more structured. That's the thing that stood out to me. Like compared to the Poch team, I feel like you lot had so much space between your midfield and your defense under Poch. But I think with Maresca, he's got a much more structured team. Going forward, I think I wouldn't say you've changed too much because I think last season you were scoring a lot of goals as well. But I think he's just provided more structure for the guys. That's the key difference. I think you're still a bit leaky defensively, but I think that's more individuals than necessarily how you've been setting up. I think a lot of it comes from mistakes and guys making bad decisions. But I think as a team, this is the first time I'm going into a game against Chelsea for a couple of years now where I feel like, well, okay, Chelsea actually, I feel like you lot can actually compete against us. The last couple of times, I didn't feel like it was like you lot could compete. I feel like if we play badly, it would give you a chance. But if we come and perform, yeah, it's gonna be a wrap.
Well,
but this time, there's a bit more respect there for sure.
Well, that's actually taking a step forward because we've been trashed the last couple of years. We've been trashed. Can't even cap.
Bad.
But now we are literally just getting back to where, well, somewhat near where we're gonna get to because we're trying to get top 4. And right now, I can't even lie. Going off your start to the season, you might have had a lot of tough away games. Obviously, you played against Man City.
Tottenham.
You had Tottenham away. Villa. And Dave, you did that.
Bournemouth looking like a tough one.
Hey man, not for us. Not for us still. But obviously, Man City and that they dropped points. But you guys, how many of your games have you had 10 men in?
4 of our Premier League games we've had 10 men.
4 out of 10.
Man City, Brighton.
Yeah.
No, not 3 actually. Yeah, I can't remember. There was another one. Yeah.
Well, that's just disciplinary. But obviously, with these referees in the Premier League, you can't. Fam,
don't get me started. Don't get me started on these.
I just start talking about the Alessandro Martinez foul last week.
Yeah.
It's like that should have been a red card, but nonetheless, the one thing that man can rely on with these referees is that the consistency is that there's inconsistency.
Mm-hmm.
That is the most reliable thing with these referees. If you see something happening in one game, you better hope to the Lord that happens in your match because there's no guarantees. Mm-hmm. You can see someone get a mad challenge and then they could get a red card and it's not happening. The same way you would have said that, Declan Rice, when he kicked out the ball, this happened so many other times.
Nope.
And there's no yellow card or anything for the other team.
It's crazy.
I feel like this is just what makes the Premier League the big league that it is and such entertainment because these referees, especially this season, the way they're moving way worse.
Wild.
They're moving way worse.
It gets worse every season.
They change the rules so many different times. It's like, what is the rules? Now they have different things about red cards because Saliba, he had a red card. Normally it would be a 3-match ban. You man had him gone for 1 ban.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. I don't even understand these kind of rules, but
he was hoping for that one because he would miss this game, innit?
No, he wouldn't have because he would have missed on the League Cup.
Oh yeah, the Cup.
He was always going to be available for this match.
Yeah.
Jarring. But obviously,
he was hoping.
Hey man, he's your best centre back.
No, of course.
Any person that is extremely important for you, man, I'd hope that they miss this game.
No, of course.
That's why I was even hoping that Odegaard would miss it, but nonetheless, he's going to be on the bench.
Most likely, yeah.
So, hey man, we have to take it as it comes. But we have Cole Palmer who could potentially have. If he ain't here, as much as he has been our best player by 4, Premier League, most goals scored and assists, like he's exceptional. But to know that if he doesn't play, I'm not going to be that worried because Christopher Nkunku, if he was able to play, would be calm, innit? So, like last season, everyone was saying that before he got injured, that he was going to be a shining light. But that happened to be Cole Palmer, and no one's expected that. So, if he's fit, then that would be great. But if he isn't, then we can rely upon Nkunku, and I can definitely see him being on the bench at the minimum because he was training yesterday. But obviously, that's obviously just some injury/team news. Man's gonna go over some match facts now for this game. Let me bring this up for you. Some interesting stats between Chelsea and Arsenal. So look at this now. That was the wrong one. Where did you go? Jarring us.
Literally just saw it as well.
You know that? There we go.
There you go.
So now look. So Chelsea versus Arsenal Premier League match facts. Arsenal have won 3 of their last 4 Premier League away games against Chelsea, drawing once, as many as they had in their previous 20 visits to Stamford Bridge.
That's
Look
crazy.
at that.
That's a crazy statistic.
You have won 3 games in your last 4, and that's as many as you had in 20 previous.
That's insane.
That goes to show the levels that we had for so many years. But since 2020, since Arteta's come to, man, yeah, he's been doing his thing because these are literally down to him and his team where I've allowed them to get these many wins. Man said, and to think you man have beaten us 5-0 last game.
I thought he once came against 3 different managers as well, I think, couldn't it? We had one against Tuchel with that fake one where Jorginho played that horrible pass. And Smith Rowe scored. We had the 4-2, which was against.
That was Tuchel as well.
That was Tuchel as well. Oh yeah, it was okay. Then the other one was
and then
1-0 against
Potter,
yeah.
The 1-0, and then Pochettino.
It was a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw at Stamford Bridge. So yeah, like literally, we've been changing managers. We've literally had a manager change every year for the last 3 years.
That's insane. Yeah.
It shouldn't be insane. This is Chelsea.
It is true. It's true.
It's Chelsea. It shouldn't be insane. But the only difference is that before we were sacking managers, we get success. We ain't had success.
You ain't getting the success this time.
that is the big difference. But soon things will change, innit? But that just goes to show how Arsenal have come along in the last couple of years. Because man said you won 3 times in your previous 20 before that. It's insane. But obviously, Leandro Trossard scored home and away against Chelsea last season. He literally scored the equaliser, but after he was winning 2-0, ball from Saka, and finished off by him, and he got the first score when you beat us 5-0. I'll never forget that Alfie Gilchrist, that right back from. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a tough one for you.
It was tough still, but Trossard, he's been scoring these vital games for you, and he's actually done very well. Do you think? Would you start him, or would you rather have him as an impact player? Because obviously you have a lot of wingers. You have Martinelli, you have Sterling, who can play either on the left or the right, or you have Trossard. So,
as in the form that he's been on currently, I would take him out of my preferred team. But I understand why Arteta proceeds with him, because he's probably our best finisher, and when you need moments, he can provide it. And I guess as you're saying, his record against Chelsea recently, it's good form. You like those type of omens. So I'm not against it, but I would personally probably prefer Jesus to play in that role. I think he would provide a bit more for us right now.
Fair enough. I wasn't expect you to say Jesus.
Yeah.
But fair enough, isn't it? Trossard has been a very good player for you, since coming to Brighton. So he scored vital goals. So you have to acknowledge that, because he's a very good player. But obviously, and then look at that. Bukayo Saka has either scored 1 or assisted 2 in his last 3 away games against Chelsea in the Premier League. This guy, man.
Haunting you, man. He's haunting you, man.
Hey, man. I'll be real. He's a quality player, and he is definitely your best attacker. So man can't fault Saka, even though I will say that Cole Palmer is better than him 100%, because what he's been doing, it's immaculate. But Bukayo Saka, he has been doing it, and he has been in the Premier League for a very long time right now. So he's going to show that he's not just a one-season one. He's continuously doing things week in, week out, year in, year out. So you have to give him credit for that, because he's literally, if it wasn't thanks to him in this Arsenal attack, what would your attack really be at this point? So you have to acknowledge him for that. And if you man are going to do something, as it said, in the last 3 away games, he's got a goal or an assist. So
he's going to be the one.
We need to stop him. If we can stop him, that attack is finished.
These matches as well, I've always liked the battle between him and Cucurella when they've played. I feel like Cucurella's always up for it. And I can see some maybe one half of Cucurella might have a bit of the better of him. Then Saka figures it out, and gets going. So it's always an interesting battle seeing those two go against each other.
Even from when the first time that when you don't play, you came to Stamford Bridge, you won 1-0. How it only ended 1-0, I don't even know. But Saka was on Cucurella. I was not happy at all.
I remember that. Yeah,
I was on him.
Human.
I was on him. But last season, it was a lot better, way better. He was silent for at least 70 minutes until Sanchez made that mistake.
And then
you woke up. That's literally what Cucurella has been on. And it goes to show that last season, I was saying that he was literally our most improved player because for the level we're showing the year before to year he's showing last season, and then even going to the Euros and that, and now coming back to Chelsea, he's literally been in great form for like the last year. So in my opinion, we have to be playing him left back because we've been experimenting with Gusto, Reece James.
Yeah, that would be interesting if Reece James is on that side.
No, it would be interesting, but I'd be wrong. I ain't even trying to take that because I ain't even trying to do that because the thing is that with Bukayo Saka, everything's gonna go down that hand side, and Reece James, I'm not sure how 100% fit he is because a part of me thinks that he was playing left back and not doing the inverted role too much because if you see the way Gusto gets up and down the pitch, he can't get up and down like that, and that's right. And people need to realize that he's been injured for a long period of time. And as much as you would want him to play forward up and all of this kind of stuff, you definitely don't want Reece James injured. Yeah. That's 1,000%. I know. I don't.
Way too long.
So I have to big up Maresco for doing these kind of things because that's the only reason why I would think that he doesn't play him and going way forward, especially because obviously Gusto, he has way more pace than any of our fullbacks, way more. So his recoveries can be a lot better, but it's just when he gets forward, the passing, like he literally passed it to Majraoui last game. Every single game he makes the wrong pass, and that's the thing where he lacks because Reece James when it comes to passing.
Yeah, it's different. It's different quality. I think Maresco's probably made that decision because the last time he brought Reece James back, when Reece James came back from injury, and then they played him like on his normal right hand side, and he got injured again, and it's always his hamstrings, isn't it? So yeah, I think he probably wants to get him back to that position, but to try and get minutes in his legs, he's like, let me give him a role that's less demanding to try just let him settle before we can give him that.
100%. Even just before these last couple of games, he's now completed 90 minutes in 2 consecutive games. The last time he done that was in like 2022, fam.
What?
Exactly.
2022.
The last time he completed
back to back
90 minutes. 100%.
Wow.
That's what he was doing, fam.
Wow.
So that's the reason why we have to be cautious with Reece. But obviously, that's just the Arsenal side of the match facts and that.
Yeah,
now
it's nice to see.
Man's gonna show you guys the Chelsea part. Okay, now where is it, man? Oh. But yeah, that's the Arsenal side of things. I should normally label this shit, but we go. Sure, this one. Okay, now. So now this is the Chelsea side. So look at this, yeah. Chelsea have won just one of their last 9 games against Arsenal. Since the start of last season, Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson has been involved in more London Derby goals than any other Premier League player. 10 goals and 2 assists.
Nice.
Cole Palmer has 29 Premier League goals for Chelsea. He would become the first player in Chelsea's Premier League history to score 30 goals before turning 23.
Nice.
Nicholas Jackson and Cole Palmer, these are the guys that have literally been putting Chelsea's attack on their back and carrying us. Nicholas Jackson's been doing way more this season than he would have done at this point last year, and Cole Palmer has been doing his thing. But these two guys, for us, if we are going to be able to score some goals or anything, we're going to need them two to be on top of their game because they've literally been so great. Their partnership, getting goals and assists for each other, has just been brilliant. And if it wasn't thanks to them, our attack would be just not that good because you got Noni Madueke on the right, who hasn't been that consistent. You have a left winger position which hasn't even been taken up. Who is our left winger?
Yeah.
Neto, Sancho, Modric. Who is it? We literally don't have a guaranteed forward line going in every single game because it just takes one person to have a good showing in another competition, and then they could be in that starting role. But Nicholas Jackson and Cole Palmer, these are the two guys. And Jackson, he's been doing his thing. Obviously, he has not scored against Shoutout so far, but he has scored, obviously, against that hat-trick against Tottenham, scored against West Ham, obviously, in both games, last season and this season. He's just been literally doing his thing in the London derbies. Man said 10 goals and 2 assists. No one has been doing what he's doing. And there's people out here that don't obviously give Jackson his flowers, will sit there and say that, oh, yeah, he is not that great. And I'm not going to lie, this time last year, I wasn't going to sit here and say that he was a proper striker. But so far this season, the fact that he has 6 goals in his first 10 games, if that's not someone that's showing that he's a striker, then I don't know what it is, because his finishing is going way better. Even in just seeing like he gets one chance against Liverpool, he puts it in the back of the net. If that man there just get one opportunity against Shula, he can definitely get at you lot, because you man's defense hasn't been that great this season. You might have conceded only 1 goal less than us in the whole entire Premier League. And to know that you man's defense, obviously in the Premier League, we would say is the best defense in the Premier League, especially obviously based off last season. Like, to know that right now is a mad move. And I just hope that obviously man like Nicholas Jackson, he can get his goals. Cole Palmer, if he's fit, then he could make Chelsea history yet again. And last season, his first goal at Stamford Bridge came against Shula.
Yeah, that penalty. I was so annoyed. That's a handball one. Oh.
Hey man, and that Mudryk goal as well. Big him up. Hilarious. He meant that, man. He meant that, bro.
They didn't kick on for him to do anything. No, he probably won't even come on tomorrow.
No, he definitely will come on, especially after his game in the Conference League. And there's people
he plays well against the Conference League teams, doesn't it?
Hey man, he scored against Shula, and that's the thing. In any game that Mudryk has scored in for Chelsea, in any match, we have never lost. Never lost.
That's a good record. But he hasn't. How many goals has he scored for you? Lot? Maybe like 10. Maybe that might even be a stretch.
No, it could be.
It could even be a stretch.
But I don't doubt him, innit? And nonetheless, he needs to prove himself, and obviously our team just overall needs to prove ourselves. As it says, we've won just one of our last 9 games against Arsenal.
Yeah, that's funny. Like, I remember having this conversation when the first recording we did for the game that we won 4-2, and it was talking about Arsenal's record, and our one was something silly like that. Well, it was like 15 plus games. It was something silly.
Bro, we literally just said before that you man, your last 3 have won 3 out of 4. That's as much as you had won your last 20 games at Stamford Bridge.
So it's like, it's just crazy how things change in football. That just flip on his head like that.
It's literally, but that's how you know that times have changed. Because not too long ago, we were literally champions of Europe, Champions League winners. People were thinking we're going to be a Premier League title challengers, and then we go 12th. Then we go 6th. Well, you man have been second and second.
Yeah.
Right now, things are changing for you guys, but obviously, this is why this game is even more important, not just for us, but for them as well, because no team can afford to lose. And this is the reason why. Because if you look at the Premier League table, oh my day! If you look at the Premier League table, yeah, man, this is that, man. This is why it's even more important, because this is the Premier League table before the games have kicked off today. So this is just after match day 10. We are literally on the same point. We only had 2 goals more, and that's surprising that we have a better goal difference than you lot. But that's even crazier that Nottingham Forest are 3rd. That's even more crazier. But that's what I say. Yeah, I have to big them up. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Ole Aina carrying that team. Show the Cobham boys and that. But nonetheless,
Chris Wood, can't figure about Wood.
I know. True say he has been doing something. He even got voted for Premier League Player of the Month.
Player of the Month is crazy, you know.
Hey, but they're doing their thing. He deserves it. 3rd in the Premier League after 10 games. Who would have thought?
No one.
Who would have thought?
No one.
Exactly. But then that's even another. Like I said, this game is even more important because we literally are on the same amount of points. But look at that. There's 18 points we have, and we're 4th and 5th. There is only 5 points separating us from 12.
12. It's crazy, yeah.
12.
Loss and that other guys winning can change a lot. It could be like I saw something like even when we lost last week, that we could have dropped all the way to 7th, depending on how the results went. And now, yeah, if we lose tomorrow, depending on results go, we probably can drop all the way down.
You got a lot of the big teams. You got Brighton playing against City. You got Liverpool against
Villa.
Aston Villa. So you got a lot of the same teams in the same kind of position. But yeah, man, that's why another reason, like I said, why this game is important is before the international break. We will know who's in the top 4, whatever. But that's why, like I said, this game is even more important because this is the closest Chelsea and Arsenal have been for God knows how long in the Premier League.
I'm pretty sure like this time last season we'll probably already like 10, 15 points clear of you. Look.
Something like we was in the bottom half.
Yeah,
bro.
like
it was literally
silly.
you man had like 20 plus points. We had 12 at this point. So it's like there's a massive change, not just for us who have gotten better, but you lot are not doing as good as you had done last season. And yeah, man, it's just gonna be an interesting game at Stamford Bridge. But that is the Premier League table before the games have kicked off today. And now this is Chelsea and Arsenal's head-to-head record. So look at that. In our whole entire history, Chelsea have beaten Arsenal 66 times, while you have won 84 times. It's not a surprise. These men were founded way before us as well. But
this is a head-to-head. It's only about when we're both alive and kicking, isn't it?
When we played each other, you know what? Who was the first in the first game where we played each other? Who won?
It was you lot.
We won.
Is it? That's
2-1. The first game ever in 1907. We won.
That's crazy.
But obviously our last 3 games, these men beat us 5-0. Bon Pochettino. And then we drew 2-2. Wait. And you lot won 3-1. That's it. Noni Madueke scored that day.
Yeah.
That's our last 3 games.
That game I thought was going to get
you 3-0 up in like 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, Odegaard bagged 2, then Jesus got thinking, they were going to run it up.
And you know why it's even more mad? Is because that season there, we literally finished 12th. We finished 12th and you couldn't beat us 3-1. We finished 6th and you might beat us 5-0. That goes to show how bad defensively that we were and how bad Pochettino had us. Because how could we finish 12th? He might only beat us 3-1. And then when we finished 6th, you beat us 5-0. Make it make sense. That's how you know that Pochettino is crap. Like defensively, we were so crap. And it's down to the way Pochettino had us because yeah, man, it's just disarray. But then obviously the form guy, these are our last 5 Premier League games. We have both won the same amount, but we have just drawn 1 more than you.
I don't know why I felt like you lot were on better form. It felt like you lot were on better form. I guess because the Conference League is in between.
Yeah.
It's like you're getting those wins in there, and it's obviously Conference League are slapping teams called Noah and that. So, but yeah, Premier League form, we're on similar type of form. Obviously, we just lost one extra game.
Exactly, and obviously that was just goes down to why we're on the same amount of points because in the previous 5, you lot had maybe just 1 more win or sign more than us, whereas now we've literally caught up and we've been doing well, especially in the big games. Obviously against Manchester United last week, I was expecting a W, comfortable W.
Yeah, I remember your prediction
4-1 and that, only for it to be 1-1. But I always knew that if we were to draw, it would be that kind of thing. But to say that United played better than us, that would be cap. We literally played like the same kind of way. Man United were at home, but obviously they weren't the better team than us on the day. But a point was deserved. Against Liverpool, we lost that game. I only lost in our last 5 in the Premier League. And in that game, people that said that we didn't even deserve to lose. We literally played so well. But you got guys like Salah and that are just unstoppable.
Game changers.
And that's the reason why Liverpool right now will be top of the Premier League because they literally have these guys that will just do whatever they need to do. In the big games so far, it's like Cole Palmer, he's been man-marked in that. And that's why tomorrow's game is big because even though you guys' defense ain't been all that, you guys can do something to nullify Cole Palmer. And if he doesn't do anything, who else is going to do stuff? We have guys like Moises Caicedo, but we literally need more on the offensive side.
Palmer's your only consistent attacker. That you know that every game he can give you something. Like Madueke can have his day. Yeah. Neto can have his day.
Jackson's been more
consistent.
Consistent.
He would probably be the second choice right now, based on that.
But obviously, it's just down to this. Like Lucas said, it's just down to the fact that we need to score goals. And Euler's defense is not crap. is one of the best, arguably the best. Even though right now I would think that Liverpool's defense moving a little bit better.
No, 100%. Yeah, how they started the season, you have to give it to them.
They've only conceded 6 goals in 11 games, so that just speaks for itself.
2 of them came against us.
Yeah, and man, we scored against them.
So lucky they came out that game. Just all these injuries and stuff just piling up at the right time. They're so lucky, but that's fine.
I guess that Anfield was you at home?
No, we was at home. Yeah,
was at home. Okay.
Well, we were so that first half they had nothing going on. Well, it was only when Gabriel got injured, it shifted everything, and then man, that was just so annoying because we should have won that game, but it's fine. It happens. That's what football is.
It is, man. And the one thing about you lot's games with Liverpool is that there's always going to be goals. It's not going to be a boring match. And judging by the last couple of games for Arsenal and Chelsea, it's clearly not a boring match.
Yeah.
There will be goals. And hopefully, just more goals for Chelsea, man. At this point.
That's what you hope.
That's what, of course. We have not won against you lot since man done the streak.
Yeah, I know, you
only if I started in the summer of 2022, I would have one win.
Yeah, one. Got a nice one,
I would have taken it.
Of course. It's a win, isn't it?
100%. But that's why now we have to win. Must. Because if you man beat us, it's dead. Even a draw at this point, I wouldn't even necessarily mind it because we'd still be ahead of you. I would take that at the bare minimum because it's a lot more than we would have done last season. Because if people don't necessarily realize this, Chelsea so far this season, we're doing way better. Out of the 10 match days so far, we've been in the top 4 3 times. That's 3 more times than we ever did in the whole of last season.
That's insane.
That's 3 more times than the whole of last season.
You were never in the top 4 at all? One point into last
season? No. We lost off. We drew our
you
first game to
started
Liverpool.
So badly,
Lost to West Ham, then we beat Luton.
Yeah, Antonio. Yeah.
Get me, bro. Get me, bro.
Yeah,
we was never in the top 4 at any point. So that's why.
It's on a late surge.
Exactly. Somehow we did, but nonetheless, that's why tomorrow's game we must win. And if we don't, just take a draw because even a draw is worse for Arsenal than it is for us because they were projected title challengers and they could potentially be 8 points off depending on how results go if you drop points. So yeah, man, Chelsea just don't lose tomorrow. Just don't lose. But now man's gonna go through the predicted exercise. Here it is. This is Nathaniel's predicted XI tomorrow. So you can say it out.
Yep. Obviously, Ryan goal, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Timber, Moreno, Partey, Rice, Saka, Havertz, and Martinelli. So yeah, as in obviously I'd hope for an Odegaard to be there, but he's only just come back, so I don't expect him to start. Calafiori is out. So yeah, Timber left back. I think in terms of the lineup, I'm happy with this. If this is out, I'm not the biggest fan of the midfield because we don't have a creator. Me personally, I'd even put in Wanyeri, the 17-year-old, to give us that option in the pocket. But Arteta's not going to do that. So,
no, not in this big game.
Yeah, not in this type of game. No, he might bring him on, but no, he's not going to start it. And especially now that Odegaard's back, so it's something to work with. But I think the weakest point is in terms of creativity in the midfield is a problem. But I know that Chelsea aren't going to sit back, so that's a good sign. It's not like we're facing the Inter or Newcastle who's going to soak up pressure. Chelsea are going to want to have the ball. They're going to want to play. So that's going to give us give these guys a bit more time, a bit more options on the ball. So it'll be interesting to see.
No, it will be. But it's a thing where it's obviously, when you say that we were going to have the ball a lot more, last week against Manchester United, we didn't even have the ball way more than them. I feel like Maresca is gonna see what the best things is from the other team and allow them to do whatever because we know that transition on the counter-attack against us defensively were not that great.
That's true.
And it's better for another team to have not necessarily way more possession, but just has equal. There's not going to be a massive amount of possession. Obviously, you lot gonna come here and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's a sucker injured. He ain't injured, fam. But nonetheless, that's what I'm trying to say. You lot can come to the bridge and have a lot more attack.
Yeah, 100%.
And I wouldn't even necessarily mind that.
Do you trust? The thing is, yeah, I get why you don't mind that. Obviously, your the ability to Palmer to play a pass through and you got pace on the attack, that transition, you lot can be dangerous. But I don't like the idea if I was a Chelsea fan of you not being under pressure because I feel like your defenders have a mistake in them. Sanchez has a mistake in them, and if you're constantly being put under pressure, I can imagine Sanchez doing a silly kick out or like flapping at a ball
Or last week giving away a
with a
penalty.
penalty. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you don't want to be under the back foot, and especially the form that we're on. I feel like it'll be. I feel like Chelsea should try to come out fast and try to come out strong and like try to get us worried. But if you let us build up our confidence, yeah, then it could be a long day.
No, it could be, and honestly, it just depends on what teams come out on the day. Like we can see the start 11, but is it going to be these guys in their best kind of form? Because even last week, it wasn't the best kind of game for us against Man United. I thought guys would have been a lot of guys would have been a lot better. Like our attack was not
Jackson
that
was
great.
nowhere to be seen that game.
But this trying to say in against big teams, especially away from home, like Jackson's always going to come against two defenders. Like he's not going to have that much freedom if we're going to be honest. But what he does is like even Enzo Fernandez missed a chance that was assisted by that would have been assisted by Jackson. Jackson, he can drop deep and link up play and allow the wingers to get more involved. That's why I'm not necessarily too fussed about how he does it against these defenders because this is only his second full season. He's not a complete striker right now. But he is getting better. And you lost defense, like you said, Saliba, Gabriel, these guys, like this is a strong partnership.
Monsters.
Like these man are way bigger than Nicholas Jackson. So it's like to expect him to have so much freedom against these guys, it's not going to be that easy. Even though last season he did run from the halfway line and nearly get into lot's box. So he has that. So he has that pace in him. He has that drive. But you lot's defense, it's just going to be interesting. And even the last couple of games, I haven't even been seeing Ben White start. How come he ain't even been playing?
It's been a mixture of things. Like he has been a bit like had a little bit of a knock. So Arteta's been taken and like being risk averse because we've had a lot of injuries in defense. With Calafiori being out, Zinchenko's out as well. He's only recently just came back, and Tomiyasu being out. And then one of the other games, he had a yellow card, and Arteta was just like, "We had too many red cards. So I'm just going to take him off just for the safety precaution, isn't it?" So, but he played last game against Inter, and he should be back. I expect him to start unless something happens today. So,
no, fair enough. Right. Well, it'll be interesting because if you play Partey right back, then man will probably have no choice but to either play a 4-4-2 or you put in Odegaard because I know this is a big game, but could be a big enough game just for man to say that this before the international break. After this, there's 2 weeks.
Yeah,
he could start Odegaard. He could start Odegaard.
I'd love it.
I'm not someone that will trust whatever this man says in
his
his press conference.
Yeah, you can't.
He will say one thing and then do another, but that's what you would do because you're not trying to let the other team know what's going to happen until you see the lineup the hour before the game. So I will just hope that these man just don't do. You man continue to do what you have been doing and just not scoring goals. Just do that because if you do that, then that would be brilliant. Because Chelsea this season in the Premier League haven't even kept a clean sheet at home.
That's a crazy stat as well.
It's not. We're a crap defensive.
But to be fair, now I think about it as well.
You've only kept 2 clean sheets out of 10 games.
Yeah, we haven't kept a lot of clean sheets this season either.
I think we kept clean sheet against Bournemouth and West Ham, 2 teams who are in the bottom or in the last right in the bottom 6.
West Ham are horrible, but
they are horrible.
Yeah. Bournemouth is a good clean sheet.
Yeah, no, it is.
Now looking back on it.
100%, because not everyone can score at Bournemouth like your team, but nonetheless, that's the Arsenal style level. Actually, wait, I have to talk about this. Havertz,
Killer Kai,
my guy, killer.
Yeah, Killer Kai, my guy,
killing your attack for sure.
No, the same thing. You know, the same thing you're saying with Jackson, isn't it? He's like, I think Havertz has probably got 6 or 7 goals this season already. So it's
not
like
in the league.
No, not in the league, but in all comps, yeah. And it's like as in I can't really, as in obviously you want a bit more, but it's like most strikers are around that kind of number at the moment. Obviously, and no one's saying he's an elite striker, but he's doing a job and he looks more confident and he brings a lot to the game as well. He works hard. He's always available. He can link play, and if he gets an opportunity, sometimes depending on how he's feeling, he can put them away. So, and the last game against Chelsea, back to, and I'm sure he probably has a bit of a extra gear to do against Chelsea just because of how it ended.
I'll be real.
So
If you had to go against the defense where it had Gilchrist, Badia Shaw, Disasi, and Cucurella, I want you to tell. Wait, no, wait, it wasn't even that. I swear it was Chill. I think it was Chill that was left back. I'm not even 100% certain.
it might have been, yeah.
But if you went up against that defense, just Badia Shaw and Disasi alone, bro, and Gilchrist, you man will score goals. But this guy, I'm telling you, even last season at Stamford Bridge, he probably had one of his worst games for Arsenal. You man played
that was a midfield Havertz though back then.
Yeah, I know about striker Havertz. He helps us finish 12th.
Yeah. But of course, that striker Havertz at Chelsea and striker Havertz at Arsenal are different Havertz. That's what I'm trying to say,
man. But either way, the same thing will happen. That neither of that striker Havertz will win the Premier League.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
I'm telling you, that man there. You man, from Jesus, to Havertz, you might need a striker, man.
No, of course, eventually we'll have to invest in that type of role. But as in for now, based on how he performed last season, I was happy to give him a season to see how he looks, as knowing that he's the main striker for the season. And let's see how he's done.
That's exactly how I thought after Lukaku was trash. But then, like I said, the season after that, he was our starter number 9.
He didn't perform.
And he played literally every single game. So, obviously, that's Arsenal's. I mean, that's Nathaniel's predicted XI. Like, this is now my predicted XI for this game. Okay, so goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, man. Right back Reece James. Centre backs Wesley Fofana, Levi Colwill. Left back Mark Cucurella. CDMs Moises Caicedo, Romeo Lavia. On the left, I'd go with Pedro Neto. On the right, Noni Madueke, Cam, Cole Palmer, striker Nicholas Jackson. And obviously, the only change that would have been from the last game was Gusto, but we cannot go to attacking. We literally need to have Cucurella at left back because Gusto, he just doesn't, like, when he gets into the attacking third, he literally just doesn't have the passing, like, to do it all the time to 10 out of 10 because we literally need 10 out of 10 nearly enough every single time. We can't be having guys pass the ball to the opposing teammate for the opposing team, which something he's done near enough every single game. And obviously, I have to big up Maresca because he will try these kind of things, trying to just do different things, trying to unlock a new side to Chelsea and that. But in this game, we cannot afford to experiment in that. We need to play this kind of team. And just talking about, like you said, Cucurella up against Saka most of the time, it's a good battle. If that was up against Reece James or Gusto, like, man doesn't know how that would roll because these guys could be pushing forward and that could allow Saka to be free. We cannot allow Saka to be free. It is impossible, especially if we have, regardless of whether we have Levi Colwill over to the left side, like, we cannot allow that because this is a guy who isn't a rubbish attacker. He's one of the best attackers and one of the best providers in the Premier League. He has the most assists. So we cannot afford to allow this guy any time and space. That's why Cucurella needs to be on him. But it's just going to be interesting because defensively, I can't predict us ever. I can't predict us keeping a clean sheet more time in a big game. And that's just another reason why we need to be defensively so much better. Fofana, Cole, they need to make a great partnership. And this is like their 10th game together or whatever together. Like, it's going to take a lot of time because last season we literally had our worst defensive season ever, conceded more than 60 goals in the Premier League.
Crazy stuff.
And we still finished 6th somehow. I don't even make sense. But nonetheless, it's going to show how good our attack is. But defensively, we literally need to do a whole lot better. And that's why this defense needs to be there. We need Cucurella to be tight to Saka. Do not give him any time and space because Saka can get him off his game I can't say quite easy, but you can get him off his game. And during the last couple of games in the Premier League, these men have not scored. Let's try to keep up that kind of momentum and not allow these men to score. So that's just my defense. The two midfield speaks for itself. Defensively, they're just solid. They will win the ball back. They can start attacks. Lavia, turn out, push forward into the attack. Caicedo, most tackles, most interceptions. This guy has been immense this season, arguably the best midfielder in the Premier League this season, arguably the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League this season. Like, he's literally been immense. And that's why these two have to start. I love Enzo Fernandez and that, but I know full well that unless we move Cole Palmer over to the right-hand side, there's not going to be any chance that Enzo can get into this team or just anyone else for this man, because that 10 role, Cole Palmer owns that. And he literally, Enzo can't play any other of the sides, which will not allow us to have so much creativity moving forward. But defensively, that's just the most important thing. We need to be a lot better defensively, because we can always, with just these four, we can always score goals. But with any defense that we have, we can potentially concede. That's why Caicedo and Lavia need to be holding that, because they are instrumental for us, especially in tomorrow's game, which will be a big game. And Pedro Neto on the left, whether it's him, whether it's Mudryk, because I don't know if Sancho will start. He had a knock and he might not be available for the game. But if he was, I wouldn't necessarily mind him starting. But now he has been doing more the last couple of games and he deserves to play. So I would put him on the left. Nani Madueke on the right. Bro, you literally need to step up this game. You have scored against Arsenal previously in your career, but in the last couple of games, you have not been on your job. You've been taking it too lightly, especially last week against Manchester United. You had the chance to cook Dalot. How did you not cook Dalot, bro? How did you not cook Dalot?
He doesn't make the right decisions.
Like, defensively, he's getting better, but it's like, we need attack. Defensively, that's calm, but you're not a defender. Get forward, beat your man more often than not, and obviously hit the post, but you just need to do a little bit more. And if he doesn't necessarily start, then I wouldn't be necessarily surprised, because if that means Neto will probably move over to the right, and I think Sancho might start on the left. But the one thing I love about Noni is that his directness, more often than not, he will try to take on his man. It just needs to work. And tomorrow, you man's left back is Timber. Cook him, bro.
Yeah. He should try.
He's a centre back playing. He's a centre back playing fullback. Man, cook him. Needs to cook him. And then you got Cole Palmer. Hey, if he is fit, then 100% he's starting. One of 3 or 4 Chelsea guys who automatically make start 11 if they're fit. And the first name on the team sheet, other than Moises Caicedo at this point in time, he needs to be in that 10 role. Everything needs to go through him, and it's a big game. We are at home. And in a big game so far this season, you haven't really turned up. We played City. Start of the season, you can write that off, because first game, who's really going to be City on the first day? We're not anywhere close to them. Liverpool, you were quiet. And Man United, you was quiet. Even though you had some good moments, should have got a red card, but attacking wise, you need to do more. I know that you want to score. Even last game against United, you tried to do so much to score. But at home, when we have our Stamford Bridge crowd, literally the first time you scored at Stamford Bridge was against Arsenal. Hopefully he can do it again. And he could make Chelsea history by being the first Chelsea player to score 30 Premier League goals before turning 23. That would be insane. But there's a caveat. If he does not play and he does not start, then we can put in Kunku, because he deserves to play as well. It's just going to be hard for
changes how you play, isn't it?
It will be a change, but it's just going to be a thing where it's like, what will Nkunku bring? Because before Cole Palmer was our best player, Nkunku was looked at as the shining light, someone that we signed, and when he got injured, we was thinking, oh, what's going to happen? And then out of nowhere, Cole Palmer happens. Hopefully tomorrow, if Cole Palmer doesn't play, hopefully something like that can happen where Nkunku just comes out of nowhere and just shines. And
that's the hope. That's the hope for you.
That's the hope. Because we need a hope. And as good as Palmer is, I know Nkunku can do similar things that what Palmer can. So if he doesn't play, then that will be a blow, but not too major of a blow due to the amount of attackers that we have. So, and then you have Nicholas Jackson up top. There's no one going to be starting as a striker in the Premier League other than Nicholas Jackson more often than not, unless it's December period and we have 9 games in the whole entire month. Maybe then we make some changes. But starting, he deserves to play. 6 goals in his last 10 games. He literally has 6 goals, 2 assists. Like, the man has been doing his thing this season. So we have to just give him his flowers. And there's so many people that were criticizing him. And tomorrow, if he gets another goal against Arsenal, another London derby goal, it just goes to show that he's on the up and up and he's doing his thing. So I just hope that this predicted XI, if it is this 11 or wherever 11 it is, just get the dub, because Arsenal's not going to be an easy game and it will be tough, but we just have to hope and pray we get the dub.
I love how different the energy is compared to your one of United. Like how much more respect you're showing the team.
Bro, you've been over 4th, you've been over 5th. Them and they were 13th.
No, I hear it still, but it's still like it's good to see in it that you understand that, yeah. Even though we're not on the best form, like this isn't we should come here and take control.
Don't you remember that time? Where you had lost like 3 games to dead teams, but then you beat Chelsea, Man United, like teams like your team. You could play dead, but then in these kind of games, you could just do what you need to do, and that will stem from us not doing what we need to do. We must do what we need to do. If Arsenal can literally just do everything and then nullify everything, then that's going to look bad on us. But if we can play our game and have a tight game, and whoever gets to win, then that will be calm. But we cannot be allowing the team just to be outperforming us in every single aspect, because then that will just be negative vibes, especially going into international break. We must end this game without an L. We must.
That's exactly how I feel.
A draw or a W, man will absolutely take it, because it will keep us near the top 4, depending on other results. But an L is not what we need, especially at home. Can't be having that. So hopefully it is a W or at least a draw. But I'm expecting a very big game and a very exciting game, because more often than not, it's not boring games between Arsenal and Chelsea. So
yeah.
Let's just hope and see. But obviously, that is the predicted XI. We've gone through the match facts and that. Now it's time for the score predictions. And my score prediction for this game, I'm going to go over 2-1 Chelsea win.
Hey!
I'm going over 2-1 Chelsea win. I can definitely expect my team to score 2 goals. And I cannot see us keeping a clean sheet. If we somehow keep a clean sheet, then there's going to be questions asked a lot about Arsenal. So hopefully they don't score, so that we can have that talk. But I don't expect it. So 2-1. What's your score prediction for the game?
Funny enough, it's the exact same thing as you. 2-1 Arsenal. Just the reverse. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. I think Chelsea have a good attack. I think you will get a goal somewhere. But I do think we are ready to bounce back in the league in terms of scoring. So, and as you said, Chelsea don't keep clean sheets and not at home. And I just feel like your defense just has a mistake in them. Not Colwell, I've already read Colwell, but I think everybody else has played at a level below. Like obviously Cucurella hasn't really been playing, to be fair. And Sanchez, I just don't rate him enough. I think he's scary. Like he can make good saves for sure, but if we put him under pressure and if we put a press on and we make him make a decision, he's shown that he has the tendency to make bad decisions and give guys passes that shouldn't be given. So I definitely feel like we can catch you out there.
And yet the Chelsea board are still backing him to say that his decision making will eventually catch up with his experience and that.
Yeah, that's the hope, isn't it? That's what you hope.
That's what we hope. But I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm scared for him. I hope that he does well, and that's the one thing I'll always be scared of for is the defense, because anything can happen. And at home in a big game, I just hope that these men just mitigate all of that and just allow and just have a great game. For Fofana, he hasn't been playing at the great level, but this is the first time he's played so many games in the Premier League in the last 2 years. He literally didn't play 1 game for us last season, so I can give him some time to get back to his best. Cole has been doing his thing easily, our best centre-back, Cucurella, and Reece James, I feel like he hasn't missed a beat since he's come back. He hasn't been necessarily going forward too much, but defensively, he's literally kept us in games, even in a game where he made a goal line clearance where he could have conceded and such. So I'll be real. I'm a lot of the team I'm happy for, but Sanchez, is the big scare. Is the big scare factor because like last season we were 2-0 up. His pass. Who put him under pressure?
He wasn't even under pressure. He just made a bad decision.
And he passed it to Declan Rice.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So guess what?
Thank you very much.
As long as we don't make any mistakes, we can therefore win. But will we make mistakes?
That is the question. Will we make mistakes? We'll see.
We'll see, man.
Who do you think your goal scorers will be then?
In the game?
Yeah, who's your 2 goal scorers?
Jackson and Palmer, man.
Okay, so you think okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Jackson and Palmer, I can definitely see that. If Mudryk can somehow get on and score, then I would definitely take it. But I'm saying Jackson and Palmer, Mudryk for the vibes.
Yeah, for the vibes.
For the vibes, and just so that he can get some more some good noise, man. Because he doesn't have that too much support, and I'm someone that supports him. I won't put in my predicted next side, but I'm someone that will believe that he can. And hope that he gets to a level where he can be our starting left winger, because that spot is not guaranteed for anyone in this team at this point.
Yeah, no, of course.
So hopefully that is the case. What about you? Who do you think will score for your team?
I think it'll be Havertz and Gabriel. I think we're gonna get a set piece.
I can definitely see man scoring from a set
piece.
Yeah,
that's what I think. I can see a set piece one coming in. We haven't scored a set piece one in a couple of games, so it's like I feel like one's overdue now. So we are very good at putting in consistent deliveries, and if Rice is playing as well, that means both our corner kick takers are available in Saka and Rice. It only takes one, and again, Sanchez just does not convince me, and I just think all we have to do is pit on top of him and see what he can get him a bit worried, and I think Gabriel or Havertz will benefit from that.
Say less, man. Well, that's what the predictions are there for, man. We will wait and see what will happen, because in just over 24 hours, Chelsea will be playing Arsenal in the final game before the international break, and hopefully Chelsea get the dub, end Arsenal's title hopes, and move up closer to the top 4. But we'll just wait and see. But nonetheless, my bro Nathaniel, love for coming on, man. As
anytime,
always,
bro. You already know.
We will be here for obviously the watch along tomorrow, and then the match review where someone's hopefully mad. Hopefully. But I'd like to thank all of you guys for your support on this match preview. Thank you for all the likes, the comments. Nehemia, Palmer's not in training. He was training yesterday as a picture, but we'll wait and see if he's there tomorrow. You said Kyle Rice is injured. That's impossible. But I would definitely take it if that happened.
Yeah, the picture, he had the cut, in the Champions League game. So Havertz, they cut his head. He had a collision with one of the defenders and he cut his head. So that's what it is possible, yeah.
If you got Declan Rice that was saying he'll fight for a broken toe, then that man there must play it, fam.
I hope so. But then Jesus will get a chance. So
we wait and see. But nonetheless, we will be back again tomorrow. So stay tuned for the content. And as always, come on Chelsea. Come on Chelsea. In a bit, my people, I will see you tomorrow. Peace.